Hi, Dr. Carlos Todd here, back with another video where we talk about how to fight less, love more. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about couples who go silent. Couples who go silent. So as a therapist who specializes in addressing issues around anger and conflict in relationships, in corporate situations, for court-related or mandated issues, one of the things that I see is that with couples, I'm not so much concerned about the couples who come in who are having the conflicts and want to find a way to get around them or to address them. I'm concerned about the couples who go silent. The ones who tell me, oh, we never have any conflicts. Those couples I'm worried about. Because it oftentimes represents something. Something is going on. Some person has a belief system, a value or something that they just have decided, you know what, I'm not going to say anything. And that ultimately is not healthy. So it's going to be a problem. And two people have conflicts. It is actually a form of engagement. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is not necessarily that people fight, it's how they fight, how they have conflicts. And so that engagement represents something. It says there's something, some belief, some value that I have that is worth fighting for. It's worth addressing. It's worth making an issue of having a conversation about. And I feel so comfortable with this relationship that I'm going to say what is on my mind. That's a good thing. But then there are situations where, and all of us have been in that situation where you ask your partner, are you okay? And they say, yeah, I'm fine. There's nothing going on. And that's not true. You know that there's something going on. There's something that needs to be addressed, but it's not talked about. And this can happen for a variety of reasons. That person may have tried over time to have an issue addressed or issues addressed, and they have been shut down. Or they just don't really know how to express themselves, which in some ways is a personal issue, or there's such a level of control in the relationship that person is literally afraid to speak their mind, which to me is terrible. There can be issues with defensiveness, contempt in the relationship, and it's driving one person towards being silent. And that in itself is a major problem. This thing is corrosive in the sense that one person may be getting their needs met, but the other person, as it relates to the relationship, is dying inside. The other thing is that it promotes a level of inefficiency in the relationship because, believe it or not, each person has something to offer the relationship that can promote a level of dynamism, right? Where you solve problems together, you have different opinions that come together to create something new. And for many of us, historically, I include myself in this, from the hint of conflict happening, we feel somewhat like we have to withdraw because we don't necessarily know how to say what we need to say. And that in itself can create a situation where your opinions, your ideas, your thoughts, your desires, they go unspoken. And you exclude yourself from what could potentially be creating growth in the relationship. And that person now who stops communicating or stops engaging, they stop investing in the relationship. And we know that the lack of investment in the relationship can breed loneliness. Loneliness breeds disconnection and disengagement over time. And at some point, that leads to something where the person begins to think about, what is it like to be by myself? Or what would it like to be with someone else? And so my tongue-in-cheek response to people is do fight, do have conflicts. And this for me is not a natural thing because historically, especially when I came into a marriage, conflicts are really not my thing. Were not my thing. And I've kind of gotten better at dealing with them over time. But that person making that decision to no longer invest and to ultimately start thinking in their mind what would life be like by myself or with someone else, that is the real danger, because that's ultimately a death blow to the connection in the relationship. And so your responsibility is not to stop having conflicts. Your responsibility is to learn how to have better conflicts. So if you want to learn how to have better conflicts, you want to learn my fight plan system, FIGHT. Each of those letters mean something. The F is for a framework, thinking differently about conflict. I is for introspection, taking responsibility for yourself. G is for ground rules in the conflict. H is for repair and healing. The T is transformation, change. How do you make the change stick in your relationship? Click the links below for anger management courses and for our courses on couples conflict. And these courses are either on masteringconflict.com or couplesfightschool.com. So thank you for watching another video where we learn how to fight less, love more. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.